Okay.
Hi, Dana.
Hello. I'm
Hi.
excited. I'm so
Me
excited to
too.
speak to you.
Oh, me too.
This show has layers. There's like 20 characters. There's things going on. Your character, Veronica, oh, a lot of
Ooh.
trouble. This is
Mm-hmm.
okay. So here's what I was wondering. Episodes. Jose, character of Jose, says that one of the biggest threats is the ones that you don't see coming. And regarding your situation, Veronica's situation, the whole hit and run situation that we're going to talk about, I was wondering, we do know that your sister Carmen is helping to cover up the whole case and the whole almost murder.
Uh-huh.
But what I was wondering is there's the housekeeper, Marta, seems to know what's going on. And I was wondering, should we look at all people when it comes to the unraveling of mysteries and who may be keeping secrets?
I would say that Marta is a character that becomes much more prominent in the show as the show
Mhm.
goes on, in part because of her amazing acting skills and the depth she brought to the role,
Mhm.
but also because that is part of what happens in a family when they have someone living with them. They're privy to a lot of secrets. This is a family that I think starts unraveling and unwrapping a
Mhm.
lot of those hidden truths underneath, and how people react to it is going to be, I believe people are going to question their own judgments. They're going to be like, oh, I thought this was the person who was going to be the one to watch out for. Oh, I think this is the person we did not see that coming. And I hope that that's the reaction.
Right. So Veronica is also the daughter of Margaret. And
Yes.
so we know that Veronica and Margaret, they don't talk. Well, she
Uh-huh.
tried to contact you, but you
Mhm.
don't contact right after that whole family blow up and she left the house.
Mhm.
I was wondering, we do know that Antonio is now working with Margaret
Uh-huh.
to take down Jose. There's a lot of things, like a soap opera.
It is.
With that being said, can you kind of explain, will there be a point when either Margaret or Veronica will need each other?
I think, without spoiling anything, I
Mm-hmm.
will say that some of the more loaded scenes emotionally a lot of the time, and just with that complexity that we were talking about, are between Margaret and Veronica, because these are two women that rose to the top,
Mm-hmm.
that earned their way to the top in a lot of ways. Both came from privilege, but they still had to prove themselves.
Right.
And I think, what is it? What you reject, you end up attracting, or whatever it is. I think
Right.
that Veronica, the more she tries to reject her origin and her mom, the more we start realizing maybe they have more in common than you'd think.
Mm, okay. I was wondering was you're very driven. Veronica's very driven. She is kind of the leader, second in command.
Mm-hmm.
Does Veronica feel that she was pushed into that position because of the family dynamic and the fact that Jose pushed people away? We have the whole Antonio situation. She had to step up to the plate.
Mm-hmm. I don't think she's ever questioned it. I think this is something that she was groomed to do,
Mhm.
inherit this empire. And I think what's happening now is, because she's getting hit left and right with these betrayals and plot twists and moments and things that are happening to her,
Mhm.
she's now going to have to question all those shoulds. Does she want it? Does she want to do it? How does she want to do it? Does she want to follow in Joe's footsteps, or does she want to have a different approach? Is this something that she would have picked for herself? And those questions and reevaluating all of those choices in her life, I
Mhm.
think, are part of that arc for her. She's never
Okay.
questioned it before.
Right. So how also will the marriage be tested, if you can say?
I think this marriage is something you follow along the journey with the ups and downs, as in any marriage.
Mhm.
And I think that the loyalty between, and the challenge between family, marriage, family one, family two, I guess,
Mhm.
those things are very important. Also, they all live in the gray. And Michael is no exception. He is not a character that is very clear cut. He is not, the bad boy or the good guy. And I think that exploration together makes them butt a lot of heads. And we're going to get to see some of where that goes. I don't want to spoil anything for the audience.
Okay. Well, we do know Veronica did go see Delgado in the hospital, and he recognizes you, even though it was pitch black. I was like, really? But he recognized you. Will there be a moment of desperation where Veronica could find herself more in the murdererish side in order to get rid of Delgado? If that makes any sense.
This is the first kind of like monkey wrench at Veronica's perfect life. Everything she does is like perfect and it's the right thing to do. And she's the good daughter. This is the first thing that is thrown at her and she's slapped in the face. That initial instinctual reaction that we're going to get to see what she does about it is going to start giving you glimpses into who the real Veronica is. Not just the perfect daughter, heir to the throne, but the real human that is confused and conflicted and has to make a decision, and how she reacts. Is she victim? Is she perpetrator? I think that's very, this is the first clue of many.
Okay. So has Veronica buried who she really is in order to support her father, or was it to support herself and in hopes that she would take over control of the family business?
I think Veronica has been passive because she's been on what she considers the right track. So why would I veer away from that? I don't need to do anything. I'm on track. Right. MBA, Stanford educated. She's like, now CEO of the winery. And now she starts realizing that track might not be the one she wants. Now what?
Happy.
Yeah.
Oh. No, that. So one thing that I was also wondering with Carmen, you're going to help Carmen with the new wine label. Can you say Veronica learns about herself through this partnership?
I think the surprising thing for Veronica is that Carmen suddenly takes that almost big sister role. She's now taking care of Veronica, and that's something that has never happened in their dynamic.
Right.
She realizes, that she feels like she can trust her sister, which I think is also, for the first time really interesting, because there's probably a lot of competitiveness. I have siblings. We all, in
Right.
large families know what it's like to be like, I love you and will do anything for you, but do not touch my sweater or I will kill you. And that dynamic is very present with Carmen and Veronica.
Okay. I like that. The sisterly bond. Thank you so much for speaking with me. I love the show. I love you. I love the character.
Same, Dana. Thank you so much. You're so sweet.
No